After 17 years of marriage, my wife Kayla left me for her old boyfriend Walter. She did not leave in silence. She left with proud words and with a cold plan. Our daughter Judy took her side at once. Judy told me that Walter was Kayla's true love. Judy said that her mother deserved to be with him. Judy said it like it was a simple truth and like my pain did not matter. Soon we were in court. I made a choice that surprised everyone. I gave up my rights as a husband and as a father. I did it in front of the judge. The judge stared at me like he could not understand what he was hearing. The judge asked my name and then spoke slowly. He said, "Mr. Harrison, you are giving up everything by your own will." He said, "You are giving up the house. You are giving up custody. You are giving up any right to support or money from her." I nodded. I stayed calm. I told him, "Yes, Your Honor." I said my wife deserves to be with her true love. I said my daughter made that very clear to me. Kayla sat across the room with her lawyer. She looked bright and happy. She looked like she had already won. Judy sat near her and held her mother hand. They kept looking at each other with eyes full of pride. They acted like this day was a celebration. Walter sat behind them and wore a smug smile. I had learned to hate that smile. It was the smile of a man who thinks he is smarter than everyone else. It was the smile of a man who believes he can take what he wants and walk away clean. Kayla's lawyer leaned forward and spoke in a quick, confident voice. He told the judge that his client accepted my offer. He listed the terms in a neat way. He said Mr. Harrison will keep his business. He said Mrs. Harrison will keep the family home. He said she will keep the joint savings account. He said she will keep her vehicle. He spoke as if he was reading a shopping list. The judge looked at me again. He asked about the business. He wanted to be sure. He asked if I understood that I was giving up many things. He asked if I was under pressure. He asked if I had been threatened. I told him no. I told him I understood. I told him the trucking company would stay with me. I said I built it from nothing before I even met Kayla. I said everything else can be hers. The house. The savings. The car. All of it. While I spoke, I watched Kayla whisper to her lawyer. Her lawyer began to speak fast as if he wanted to warn her about something. But Kayla waved her hand and cut him off. She rolled her eyes like she was bored. She said loud enough for me to hear that they did not need my dusty trucks anyway. She said it with a little laugh like my life work was nothing. The judge hit his gavel and ended it. He said the divorce was granted. He sounded tired. He sounded like he had seen too many people throw away their families. Judy hugged her mother right there in the court. They did not look at me. Not even once. I signed the papers with a steady hand. I stood up. I walked out alone. Outside I got into my truck. I drove without rushing. I did not cry. I did not shout. I did not call anyone. I did not beg. I drove to my new apartment. It was small and clean. It was paid in cash. It had one bedroom and one tiny kitchen. It was not fancy, but it was mine. It felt quiet. It felt safe. It felt like a place where no one could lie to my face and smile while doing it. For days I kept my life simple. I worked hard. I ate plain meals. I slept at night. I woke up early. I did my job. I did not drink. I did not chase comfort in bad ways. I just kept moving forward. My phone stayed silent. No calls. No messages. No apologies. No check-in from Judy. No words from Kayla. I heard nothing for weeks. The quiet felt strange at first. Then it started to feel like peace. I focused on the trucking company. I knew every part of it. I knew the routes. I knew the drivers. I knew the repairs and the schedules. I knew which customers paid on time and which ones tried to delay. That company was the only thing in my life that never lied to me. It was built on work and time and effort. I had built it before Kayla came into my life. I had built it when I had almost nothing. I remembered those days clearly. I remembered the long hours. I remembered the stress. I remembered the pride I felt when the first truck started making real money. I remembered how I promised myself that if I ever had a family, I would give them a good life. I did give them a good life. I paid for Judy's school. I paid for her car. I paid for trips and nice things. I worked long weeks. I missed sleep. I missed rest. I did it because I believed I was building a home. I believed I was building love. I believed I was building trust. But trust was not what they were building. They were building a secret. One Tuesday afternoon my phone rang. The number was unknown. I almost ignored it. But something made me answer. I said hello. Then I heard Judy's voice. It did not sound strong anymore. It sounded shaky and small. She said, "Dad, please." She said, "Mom and I need help." I leaned back in my chair and listened. I did not rush to comfort her. I asked what happened. Judy began to cry. She said Walter left. She said he only wanted Mom because he thought I was rich. She said he believed the business was shared money. She said he thought he would get it too. But when he learned the business was mine and only mine, he turned cold. Judy said that when he saw Kayla only got the house and the cash savings, he said he made a mistake. She said he packed his things and left the day before. She said he walked out like they meant nothing. I stayed silent. I let her words fall into the space between us. Judy kept talking fast. She said the house was a problem. She said Kayla could not afford the mortgage. She said my name was not on anything anymore. She said Kayla did not make enough money. She said the bank called. She said the house would go into foreclosure soon. Her voice was full of fear now. Then she told me more. She said she had to drop out of college. She said the private school fees were too high now. She said her mother could not cover them. She said Kayla drained the savings trying to keep up with Walter lifestyle. She said there were expensive dinners and trips. She said there were new clothes and shiny things. She said it was all gone. She said the account was empty. I answered with a flat voice. I said that was unfortunate. I did not sound angry. I did not sound happy. I sounded finished. Judy paused like she did not understand my tone. Then she begged again. She said, "Dad, please." She asked if they could come stay with me. She said it would be only until her mother got back on her feet. She tried to make it sound small. She tried to make it sound fair. I looked around my one-bedroom apartment. I saw my second-hand couch. I saw my small television. I saw the used coffee maker I bought at a thrift store. I saw the plain walls and the simple table. This place was not built for guests. This place was built for healing. I repeated her words slowly. I said, "Stay with me." Judy rushed to explain. She said they could share the space. She said she would sleep on the couch. She said Kayla could take the bedroom. She said I could manage somehow. She kept talking like her plan was normal. Like I was still the man who would give up comfort so they could feel safe. I stopped her. I told her to be quiet for a moment. I asked her if she remembered what she told me the day her mother left. Judy went silent. I could hear her breathing. I could hear the fear behind the quiet. I reminded her. I told her she said Kayla deserved to be with her true love. I told her she said I was only an arrangement. I told her she said I was a stopgap. I told her she said Walter and Kayla were meant to be together like a fairy tale. Judy tried to speak. She said, "Dad, I did not mean." But I did not let her finish. I told her she told me I should be happy to give Kayla everything she deserved. I told her she said that with a clear voice that day. I told her she did not whisper it. I told her she did not hesitate. I told her she stood in my home and judged me like I was nothing. I stood up and walked to the window as I spoke. I looked out at the street. I saw people walking with their own problems. I saw cars moving on their own roads. I felt how small my own life was in the big world. But I also felt something strong inside me. It was the part of me that had been used for years. It was the part of me that always gave. It was the part of me that finally said no. I told Judy that I did exactly what she asked me to do. I told her I gave Kayla the house. I told her I gave her the savings. I told her I gave her the car. I told her I gave her freedom. I told her I gave her everything she deserved. I told her I stepped aside because she said that was the right thing. Judy cried and said they needed help. I told her that the day Kayla left I also told Judy that she would get what she deserved too. I paused. I said congratulations. I said you got it. Judy begged again. She said they would be homeless. I told her her mother had a college degree. I told her Kayla could get a job. I told her Judy could apply for student loans like other students. I told her they both wanted independence from me. I told her now they had it. Judy said it was not fair. I let out a short laugh. I told her fair was a strange word to hear from her. I told her she knew about Walter for months. I told her her grandmother knew. I told her her grandfather knew. I told her everyone knew except me. I told her they watched me work long weeks to pay for her private school and her car and her trips. I told her not one of them warned me. I told her not one of them cared enough to be honest. Judy tried to use the one thing she had left. She said she was my daughter. I answered that she made her side clear. I told her she stood in my home and said her mother deserved better. I told her she said Walter was the fairy tale ending. I told her I stepped aside so they could live that story. I told her I gave them what they wanted. Judy sobbed and said they were wrong. I said yes. I said you were wrong. I walked back to my chair and sat down. I told her it was not my problem anymore. Judy asked where they were supposed to go. I told her I did not know. I said maybe Walter Place. Then I reminded her he was gone. I said maybe Grandma Kelly house. I said the house of the woman who helped hide the truth from me. Judy cried harder. She begged me again. She said, "Dad, please." She said she was begging. I answered in a quiet voice. I told her she made her choice. I told her now she must live with it. She whispered, "Dad." I ended the call. Then I blocked the number. My phone buzzed again. I saw Kayla number. I blocked it. Then another number called. I assumed it was Kayla again. I blocked that too. I sat in my quiet apartment and listened to the silence return. I did not feel joy. I did not feel revenge. I felt tired. I felt like a long storm had finally passed. I knew they would tell people a story about me. I knew they would say I was cruel. I knew they would say I abandoned them. But I also knew the truth. They abandoned me first. They did it with smiles and secrets. They did it while I worked to protect them. They did it while I believed we were a family. Now they had the life they chose. They had freedom. They had distance from me. They had the results of their own words. And I had my own life again. I had my work. I had my small home. I had peace that I paid for with years of pain. I looked at my hands on the table. I took a slow breath. I turned off my phone. I went back to work.